I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, best-selling author, nutrition and eating psychology expert, and primary teacher here at the Institute. I'd like to share with you a little bit about me and how I came to this work. Please know that I'm actually an introvert, but quite frankly, I'm learning that if you're going to put yourself out there, then you have to put yourself out there. I'm also a people person though, and I love hearing people's stories. So here are a few of mine. My earliest experience of life was dying. I was born intensely asthmatic with a compromised immune system that nearly killed me several times during infancy. And as I grew older, things didn't get so much better, they got worse. I had some kind of undiagnosed autoimmune condition that caused my knees to swell, created agonizing joint pain that I live with daily. And my digestion was an awful mess. So there were no doctors, drugs, antibiotics, or vaccinations that could possibly help. They might have been a little bit of the problem. So anyway, at the age of 5, I heard a rumor that fruits and vegetables were good for you. Now this was back in the early 1960s when Fruit Loops and Kool-Aid and marshmallow fluff and TV dinners and Velveeta cheese, margarine, Wonder Bread, and more were considered good nutrition. Now, it all turned around for me because I consciously changed my diet at a young age. I'd heard this rumor that fruits and vegetables were good for you. By about age 14, I was virtually symptom-free and was deeply moved by my own transformation. So I promptly became a nutrition fanatic and knew that nutrition and health would indeed be my life's work. Now check this out, there was another interesting complication in my life. On top of my health issues, I was a very intense stutterer from the time I could first talk. In fact, I couldn't say a single word without stuttering it about 5 to 10 times, really. And back in those days, no one knew how to work with this. I fast discovered that kids can be pretty ruthless and make fun of you, so I decided that my best strategy would be to stop talking and just listen. So I spent the first 13 years or so of my life quietly paying very close attention, speaking and stuttering only when absolutely necessary. The incredible bonus of all this that I never could have imagined was that I learned how to listen. I observed intently. I watched how people seldom really took in one another. Out of a painful challenge, I developed a skill that would stay with me forever. And over the years in my early teens, I had actually pushed myself to take on any kind of public speaking opportunities that I could find. I reasoned that if I faced my worst fear, which is being humiliated and stuttering in front of a large number of people, I could somehow conquer my problem. And it worked. I eventually found myself in medical school wanting to be a nutrition-oriented doctor. This was back in the late 70s. And I was disappointed by the lack of what felt like a true health and healing education in the medical school world, so I left after my first year. My family wasn't too happy. I spent a couple of years traveling around the country, apprenticing with the best practitioners I could find who were using nutritional medicine and food to heal. I then wanted to study eating psychology, but quickly learned back in 1981 that there wasn't any. I was baffled it didn't exist. I located one clinic that worked with anorexia that would let me do an internship, but that was it. Eating psychology meant eating disorders. And I wanted to focus on eating psychology for everyone. I wanted to just pick up a book, take a course, or do any kind of training. So without any real resources available to me, I wisely deduced that my next step was this. I needed to study as much psychology as I could and then start learning on the job. I also decided that if the book I wanted to read didn't exist, then I might as well write it myself as soon as I had some idea what I was talking about. I earned my master's degree in psychology at Sonoma State University in California and spent my time independently studying and developing an eating psychology for everyone. We all have a unique and I believe very fascinating relationship with food. Everyone eats, and so many people face the challenges of overeating and binge eating and emotional eating and body image concerns and weight and chronic dieting, fear of foods, and all kinds of health challenges that have an emotional or psychological component. So I moved back to New York in 1986 and began a clinical nutrition practice on Wall Street in New York City, of all places. I essentially had this amazing opportunity to experiment on highly motivated, highly educated, and highly stressed clients who were killing their bodies while making a killing in the stock market. So needless to say, I learned a lot. I wrote my first book, Nourishing Wisdom, in 1990. I was a total unknown at the time. Random House loved what I'd written and they got behind me. That book has since been translated into 10 languages. It's been a bestseller and has stayed in print for about 25 years and is considered a classic and groundbreaking book. I've worked for many years in the supplement industry in product development and formulation, consulted to some of the biggest food, vitamin, drug, and media companies on planet Earth. Some of those companies don't sell very healthy products. Live and learn. I've spent thousands of hours with clients over 30 years, taught to every kind of audience you can imagine, used my own body as a laboratory. In short, what I'm trying to say is I've covered as much turf as I could in the nutrition and health space. My second book, The Slow Down Diet, is also a perennial bestseller and considered a game changer in the field. About 9 years ago, I had a traveling and teaching schedule that was too busy. I was a single dad. I wanted to stay put in one place and raise my son. I was also hearing an undeniable voice in my head telling me to start a teaching organization and put my work out there in a bigger way. Have you ever had that happen to you? The improbable or even otherworldly voice in the head thing telling you to do something that you know you have to do, but you know it won't be so easy? Well, I resisted as best I could, and eventually the voice in my head won out. So I started the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, and it's grown to be an educational organization that I'm super proud of. It has a worldwide reach, and it features truly innovative and groundbreaking trainings for both professionals and the public that combine the psychology of eating with the science of nutrition. Honestly, what truly qualifies me to do this work is that I care in a deep way. I feel moved around all this. I feel called. It's my mission in life. And the field of eating psychology and nutrition has given me personally so much, and professionally, that I want to give back as best I can. I would love to live a life where I wake up feeling good in the morning because I do good work in the world that makes a real difference. And I'm happy to say, mission accomplished. I love seeing the magic that happens when someone's health and energy returns because they found the right nutritional or emotional course corrections. I love when people see their symptoms or ailments finally resolve themselves, when their eating challenges relax in a big way, and when people become vibrant and inspired enough that their well-nourished body now becomes a vehicle to live a life that's meaningful and where they leave the world a better place. So these days I develop and teach all of our core programs here at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. I write, I make a few videos like this one. I hope it was interesting for you. And I do my best to help lead the charge in a new movement that's changing the way the world approaches our food, body, and health challenges. It's a positive, uplifting, honest, and results-driven approach that does its best to include all of who we are as eaters: body, mind, heart, and soul. So, thanks for listening. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. I hope to meet you in one of our programs. I hope this was helpful, my friends. To learn more, go to psychologyofeating.com. The Institute for the Psychology of Eating offers the most innovative and inspiring professional trainings, public programs, conferences, online events, and much more. Through our Eating Psychology Coach Certification training, you can grow a new career and help your clients break through the most compelling eating challenges of our times. If you're focused on your own eating and health, the Institute offers a great selection of one-of-a-kind opportunities to take a big leap forward in your relationship with food. We are proud to be international leaders in online and live educational events that are designed to create the breakthroughs you want most. Our professional and public programs are powerful, results-oriented, and embrace all of who we are as eaters. I'm talking body, mind, heart, and soul. For questions, you can always email us at info@psychologyofeating.com. We'll be sure to get back to you real soon. This is Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Thank you so much for your time and interest.